Ladies and gentlemen, Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse is live and on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live at Hallway Field, where it is your Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse team taking on DeWitt. Taking a look at this season so far for Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse. They have had two games thus far. The first game was versus Seaholm back on the 31st of March. That was a 13-4 win by Seaholm, so loss for Pioneer. Then on the second, on a not so pleasant day weather-wise, we're hoping that it'll stay a little bit nicer today, although we did have a little bit of rain during the JV game. But they lost to South Lyon. That was 20-2, the final score. So Pioneer trying to get a big win here versus DeWitt, as both the men's and the women's team have kind of a front-loaded home schedule for lacrosse. Pioneer plays DeWitt, then they will play on the 9th Novi here at home. That's a 5:30 game. Then on the 11th, they host Matawan. That will be a 6 p.m. game. Then they go on the road for two games versus Perrysburg at Perrysburg on the 16th. That'll be a 6:30 game. Then 7 p.m. at Saline. They have a home game after that on the 19th versus Northville here 4:30, it says, here at Hallway Field. Then again, now they have, at that point, they have a 4-game road stretch. They'll be at Bedford on the 22nd of this month at 5:30. They will be at Huron in the front field, 4 o'clock on the 25th. Then they'll be at Portage Northern High School, 7:30 on the 26th. And at Father Gabriel Richard on the 29th at 5:30. They have a home game kind of in the middle of that at the 1st of May versus Dexter here at Hallway Field. That'll be a 6 p.m. game. Two more away games then. On the 2nd of May, they'll be at Grosse Pointe South, 7:30 game. And they'll be at Tecumseh, 5 p.m. on the 6th of May. They have another home game on the 8th of May, that versus Skyline here at Hallway Field. That will be a 6 p.m. game. CTN will be here as well. They'll host Divine Child on the 13th of May at 6 p.m. Then they're on the road at Eisenhower on the 14th of May at 7 p.m. before heading into the regional. So it's always amazing how quick the spring goes. Taking a look at DeWitt, this is their first game of the season, so they haven't played anything as of yet. They will host tomorrow Birmingham Public Schools. That will be a 7 p.m. game for them. They'll also have another home game after that on the 9th versus Hudsonville. They will be away at Hazlitt, 7 p.m. game on the 11th. 13th, they're back at home versus Traverse Central. 16th, they'll be at home versus Okemos. And on the 18th, they will be at home versus Ovidalise High School. Won't go too much further into their schedule, but that is what is coming up next. So we do have some dark clouds across the way. Game time temperature at this point, 45 degrees, so still pretty chilly, but hopefully, like we said, it'll be a little nicer game. No, nicer weather today than it was 2 days ago. Pioneer is in their home whites, so they have the white tops, some kind of mixture of black bottoms, but the white tops with the Pioneer on the front, numbers in dark lettering on the front, and on the back, purple stripe down the side. DeWitt is going to be in their road blues with the numbers in white on the back and on the front, and DeWitt in block lettering across that front. We have about 2 minutes, 30 seconds before we'll get to Michael, the public address announcer, giving everybody the starting lineups and the national anthem. So let's play a couple quick messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
It's captain's meeting with the officials right in front of the scorer's bench, right at the 50-yard line. As everyone cleaned up all the balls in the nets after the practice and getting warmed up, and everyone's head over to the sideline, and we'll have everyone line up momentarily. The men's lacrosse is practicing over on the field across the way. They have a game versus Skyline tomorrow. Big crosstown rivalry. We plan on being here for that one as well. As everyone gets set, a few folks coming in, kind of a little bit of a late arriving crowd. It's not exactly the early spring games are not exactly the warmest of weather. Which just again shows you all the players out there in shorts are just that much tougher than I am, but we already knew that. Lights already on here. Like we said, we had a little bit of rain coming down fairly heavily during the JV contest. There are a lot of dark clouds to our right and back behind us and across the way, but we're hoping, fingers crossed, that they will keep the rain away, or if it does come, it will be hopefully a short little burst of rain there. The officials again continuing to talk with the captains. The rest of the team getting lined up across the way, and as soon as they're done with that, Michael, our public address announcer, will announce the teams. Then we'll have the starting lineups, and we'll turn that over to him and put the field mic on so you can hear him. "12 minutes up on the clock." As they're wrapping that up, let's just play a little push on, and then we'll be right back. Here's the starting lineup for your public address announcer.
DeWitt Panthers. Introducing number 1, Braylon Charles. Number 2, Kaylee Way. Number 3, Lucy Roberts. Number 4, Sophia Neal. Number 5, Kira Lynch. Number 7, Hannah Kukulski. Oh, excuse me. Not quite yet. I apologize over that.
They're doing some stick checks there, making sure that all the sticks are where they need to be. So we'll give that just a little bit of time. So they want to go through, make sure that all the sticks are legitimate, and they make sure that put the ball in them, make sure it doesn't get caught in the netting. So that takes just a few moments there to do that. Gives folks a few more moments to come in. The JV contest ended a bit early. So, although at this point we're probably going to get started right about at the right time, just about at 7 o'clock as they go through all the pregame items that they have to get through. But Pioneer won the JV contest. I believe that was 5-3. The official's about halfway down through stick check. Lots of action happening this first week of April here. Again, both the men's and the women's lacrosse teams playing twice this week. Soccer will be playing on Saturday. Baseball got their first game in. I believe softball, I thought they got rained out the other day. I know baseball has a doubleheader, I believe, on Saturday, as well as women's soccer here at Hallway Field on Saturday. So lots of action coming up. Make sure you catch as much as possible. We'll broadcast as much as we can, be in as many of these games as we can, supporting these fantastic, amazing teams, and you, the excellent family and fans, supporting these squads. We're very, very grateful for you tuning in and joining us. Pioneer on a 2-game skid to start off the season. They will try and get their first win of the season versus DeWitt. DeWitt, not an easy team. They are typically very, very good. This is their first game of the season. As you can see, a little sun peeking out from behind the press box. The rare sight in these spring games, having a little bit of that big ball in the sky showing itself. Right after stick checks are complete, we'll have the announcement of the teams, then the national anthem, and we'll hop into things. 4 12-minute quarters here. And more folks filing into the stadium. We appreciate everyone who braves the weather and the possible rain layering up to come out here and cheer on these fantastic teams. And thank you for you watching wherever you are at.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ann Arbor Pioneer High School and Holloway Field for tonight's Varsity Division.
Yes, let's turn it over to Michael.
Visiting DeWitt Panthers and the Ann Arbor Pioneers. And now at this time, we will really meet our players. First, put your hands together for the DeWitt Panthers. Introducing 1, Braylon Charles. Number 2, Kaylee Way. Number 3, Lucy Roberts. Number 4, Sophia Neal. Number 5, Kira Lynch. Number 7, Hannah Kukulski. Number 8, Taylor Young. Number 9, Eliana Hillard. Number 10, Kata Lynch. Number 11, Maggie Cromer. Number 13, Taylor Roberts. Number 14, Ireland Brown. Number 15, Josie Ives. Number 17, Hallie Figueroa. Number 28, Maddie Trenton. Number 21, Adriana Yankowski. Number 35, Holly Bahovitz. Number 36, Malia Lenneman. Number 49, Tara Kearns. Number 55, Jillian Randolph. The assistant coaches for the DeWitt Panthers are Brad Hillard, Tammy Smith. And the head coach, please welcome Mr. Marvin Hardy. And now for the Ann Arbor Pioneers. Introducing number 1, Ellie Malloy. Number 2, Megan Kolb. Number 3, Kate Nyman. Number 4, Maddie Dobberstein. Number 5, Grace Grabowski. Number 6, Ann McGowan. Number 7, Adriana Kennedy. Number 8, Megan Edwards. Number 9, Sarah Huffman. Number 10, Lily Solden. Number 11, Sophia Jimenez. Number 12, Nina Bonenberger. Number 3, Grace Otigano. Number 14, Lily Whitcomb. Number 15, Maggie Lamb. Number 16, Evie Lamb. Number 20, Victoria Jove. Number 21, Allie Rudberg. 23, Vivian Alcantara Luna. 24, Frankie Rudberg. 33, Ann Coleman. Number 52, Leah Thomas. And number 97, Isol Parr. The head coach of the Ann Arbor Pioneers in her first season, please welcome Jacqueline Hibbs. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, to honor America, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Good luck tonight. Good luck teams.
All right, we're getting ready to go. Both squads gathered, getting last moment instructions from their coaches across the way. Again, 12 minutes up on the clock. We're about ready to get going here. Official right at center, getting ready for the draw. Forgive me flipping between men's and women's lacrosse if I call it the face-off and get the face-off and the draw confused. Try not to do that. Set right at center. Solden in to take the draw. On the other side, I believe that's Hillard. On the left-hand side of the center circle, Over there is Taylor Roberts. That popped up high, trying to grab it. The ball loose, and that raked up by Brown. Brown heads over the restraining line. Brown coming down. Brown just outside the 12-meter fan. Brown on the numbers on the near side. Sends it underneath the goal line extended as that's moved over to Hillard. Hillard comes above the goal line extended down the near wing. Hillard trying to fire it out in front. That ball loose. Ground ball trying to rake it up. That grabbed. Moved over now. Hillard inside the 8-meter fan. Hillard shot and a score. As that was number 9, Hillard, with the first score of the game.
Score number 9, Eliana Hillard. Time to goal, 11:24 of the first quarter. That's goal by Hillard at 11-4.
DeWitt goes up 1-0. Now time for the draw. Solden in there for the draw. As that draw popped up and controlled by DeWitt. DeWitt comes down on the near side. Outside the numbers in over the restraining line. Hillard with it. Hillard moves it down. Over with it is Young. Young goes underneath the goal line extended. Young feeds it over on the far side as DeWitt trying to fire it out in front. That knocked down and a score as able to put it in. It's Taylor Roberts, number 13.
To DeWitt Panthers goals for number 13, Taylor Roberts. On the goal, 10:58 of the first quarter.
At 10:58.
That's goal by Roberts at 10:58.
DeWitt with the 2-0 lead here on Pioneer. 11:58 left to go here in the first. Solden sets up for the draw. On the other side is Hillard. Jimenez on the left-hand side of the center circle. Over there with Taylor Roberts on the right-hand side. Trying to get number both of their sides are to me. Ball set for the draw. They're both to the right-hand side of the midfield line. There's that, popped up. Over, racing over to get it is Jof. That raked up on the far wing, picked up there by Brown. Brown racing down into the offensive zone. Brown holds up on the numbers there now. Brown trying to make her way between the hash marks. Brown has that knocked away. Ground ball that raked up by Hillard. Hillard has it just inside of the offensive zone. Hillard between the hash marks. Races right to the 12-meter fan. Hillard steps back. Gets a little bit of room to work over on the near wing. Hillard now trailing the ball. Steps back. Fires it. That knocked down out in front by Solden. Solden racing down to get it. Solden rakes it up. Coming into the midfield area. Fires that ahead as Maggie Lamb has it. Maggie Lamb down the far hash marks into the offensive zone. Maggie Lamb coming down the far side just inside of the numbers. Maggie Lamb goes underneath the goal line extended. Stops there. Maggie Lamb comes from the far side to the near side. Back underneath that goal line extended. Now Maggie Lamb steps back directly behind the goal. Moves it over on the near wing over to McGowan. McGowan over, still underneath the goal line extended. Flips that right back over to Kennedy. Kennedy out in front to Maggie Lamb. That a ground ball picked up. Headed the other direction with it is Randolph. Randolph coming down the numbers outside into the midfield zone. Randolph over midfield. Randolph coming down. Outside on the far sideline, fires it as that rolls all the way underneath past the goal line extended out. The end line, that should be Pioneer ball. Last touch by DeWitt, 9:33 left to go. Here in the first, 2-0, DeWitt with the lead. Pioneer to start it off. In their backfield. Racing ahead, that fire down the far side by Otieno. Grabbed by Jimenez. Jimenez racing down the numbers right at the 40. Moves it over. Ground ball. Racing to scoop it up as that's grabbed by Grabowski. Grabowski between the hash marks. Fires it into the offensive zone. Running down the outside the far hash marks is Jimenez. Jimenez sends it back. Fired out in front. Ground ball as that was deflected from Edwards. That will stay Pioneer ball as they'll have it on the end line. Kennedy with it there. Kennedy gets it over to Edwards. Edwards just underneath the goal line extended on the far wing. Edwards flips it over on the numbers to Jimenez. Jimenez out to Grabowski. Grabowski about 10 yards inside of the offensive zone. Grabowski between the hash marks, starts running to the far side, inside the 12-meter fan, gets inside the 8-meter arc. Grabowski with the shot that got knocked down out in front. Plucked up there by DeWitt. DeWitt coming as there's a whistle. Taylor Roberts had it. That is going to be a ground ball. Solden trying to get to it. Now Hillard rakes it up. Hillard coming in her own defensive zone. There's a whistle. Hillard makes it into the midfield area. Hillard racing down the far hash marks. Now comes out to the numbers. Over midfield, there's the ball loose, but that'll be a restart for DeWitt. Hillard will have it just over midfield. As that's fired, trying to rake it up is Randolph. Randolph, still ground ball, gets it back in her own defensive area. Randolph trying to get away from Kennedy, moves it ahead. That grab now racing ahead with it down the near side and just out. That off of Lucy Roberts' cross, just off the tip of the cross and coming the other direction. Abby Lamb has it over to Jimenez for Pioneer. Over midfield, Jimenez gets between the hash marks. Jimenez races ahead into the offensive zone. Jimenez cutting between a defender. There's going to be a whistle. Jimenez will restart. Just about 7 yards inside of the offensive zone. The offending party has to go a few yards back behind her. Jimenez restarts, moves it over on the far side as Maggie Lamb has it. Maggie Lamb, cross into the middle, coming in. Grabowski with the shot. That one just missed. That will go out. Closest to it was Kennedy. That will maintain Pioneer possession. Kennedy in along the end line. Kennedy comes over underneath the goal line, extended to the near side. Kennedy fires it. Jimenez trying to get it inside to Grabowski. That tipped away, coming the other direction. Here comes DeWitt as that pass just out of bounds, trying to get it over to Young, and that just off the tip of her cross. Pioneer starts their possession running the other direction. Over the restraining line, that was knocked away from Grabowski. But Grabowski will restart just outside of the offensive zone, as Young will have to go 3 yards behind her. Coming ahead, Grabowski over on that far wing, fires it back over. Malloy underneath the goal line extend. Malloy gets it back. Malloy going from the near side to the far side. Malloy right back behind the goal. Malloy now, even with the goal line extended on the near side, Malloy trying to make her way in. She's inside the 12-meter fan. Malloy back underneath the goal line extended. Malloy, even with the goal on the near side, trying to make her way above the goal line extended, coming in. Malloy with a shot. It goes in, but there was a whistle beforehand. So we're going to see a free position here. And it's going to be the first hash on the left. Malloy sets up for the free position. Waiting for the whistle. There's the whistle. Malloy racing in. Malloy cuts to her right. Malloy steps back now, flips that over to Solden. Solden racing around the 8-meter arc now. Solden back behind the goal line extended. There's a flag on the ground. That picked up and whistle blown. Delayed penalty to DeWitt. 4:59 left to go here in the first. 2-0. DeWitt. 2 early goals, one at 11:27, one at 10:58. Pioneers settled in a bit since then. First hash on the right. Grabowski has a free position. She gets set. They get everyone where they need to be. Grabowski leans over, waiting for the whistle. There it is. Grabowski coming in. Bounce shot. That knocked away. Really good play there by Ives. The ball in along the far sideline. Racing ahead with it. DeWitt has it. And over there is Bohovitz with it. And DeWitt moves it back, racing down that far sideline, ahead back to Bohovitz. Bohovitz, that ground ball picked up, headed the other direction. It's Jimenez back into the offensive zone. Jimenez has it outside the numbers. Jimenez running down. Jimenez makes her way inside the 12-meter fan, underneath the goal line extended from the near far side. Jimenez comes over to the near side. Jimenez just underneath the goal line extended on that near wing, flips that back to Kennedy. Kennedy underneath the goal line extended on the near wing. She's walled off. Moves it back over to Jimenez on the near wing now. That flip back over to Solden. Solden, even with the goal on the near wing. Solden moves it all the way back, trying to get it to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb rakes it up. Just outside the numbers on the near wing, about 10 yards inside the offensive zone. Maggie Lamb between the hash marks. Maggie Lamb working her way around the 12-meter fan. She goes on the far hash marks. Maggie Lamb looks to her left, gets it over to Grabowski. Grabowski steps back, gets about 5 yards outside the 12-meter fan. Grabowski trying to make her way in. She gets inside the 12-meter fan. That tipped away, ball loose. That's going to be a whistle. Grabowski with the restart. As they're going to put Lenneman 5 yards back behind her. Grabowski just inside the 12-meter fan. Grabowski on that far wing outside the hash marks. Grabowski fires it underneath the goal line, extended to Kennedy. Kennedy on that far wing. Kennedy goes right back behind the goal. Kennedy switches shoulders, now brings it the other direction. Kennedy gets it back over to Grabowski. Grabowski on that far wing, just above the goal line, extended. Grabowski coming down the goal line, now underneath the goal line, extended, goes back behind the goal. Grabowski coming over the goal line, extended on the near wing. Grabowski now trying to race down the goal line. Grabowski walled off there, flips that back over to Malloy. Malloy rakes that up just on the 12-meter fan, trying to work her way in. There's a whistle. Malloy will restart just on the edge of the 12-meter fan. Back behind her will be Bohovitz. Now Malloy restarts, spins in Malloy. Double team there, ball loose. Whistle. Looks like we're going to have a free position. Malloy right at the center hash on that 8-meter arc. Has the ball over her right shoulder, leans over, waiting for the whistle. The officials get all the players where they need them to be, make sure everyone's in the right place. Now they get set for the whistle. There's the whistle. Malloy coming in. Malloy with the shot that just goes over the crossbar. That goes out, and closest to it, back there was DeWitt as Randolph was closest to it. She'll scoop that up, and DeWitt will start on their own end line. 1 minute, 13 seconds left to go here in the first. 2-0. DeWitt with the lead. They have the ball coming down the near wing in their own zone. That ball out the cross. Kennedy trying to get to it, but that brought back. Ball picked up, racing the other direction now. As that's going to be Lenneman. Lenneman over midfield. Lenneman into the offensive zone. Lenneman moves it over on a hop. Racing in with it is Cromer. Cromer got just inside the 12-meter fan. That ball popped up. Hillard has it now. Hillard outside the hash marks on the far wing. Hillard moves that over to Brown. Brown about 5 yards offside of the 12-meter fan. That pass off the tip of the cross back, and that will be held in. Pioneer trying to rake it up as racing down the near wing. Coming ahead with it. That fired ahead. As that was Jof with it. Now ground ball battle. Maggie Lamb gets it, rakes it over to Sultan. Sultan picks it up between the hash marks. Sultan running over the midfield stripe. Sultan fires it over, trying to move it over to Edwards. Ground ball. That grab by Malloy. Malloy spins between two defenders. Malloy shot, and that one Ives with a great save. Ives getting that cross in the way, and that will do it for the first quarter at the end of one. It is DeWitt 2, Pioneer nothing. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as we're coming into the second period here, counting down as both goals scored in the first by DeWitt, both of them in the first really minute and 2 minutes. No, that would be a minute and 2 seconds. I can do some basic math, I swear. One at 11:24 and then one at 10:58. Pioneer able to settle down after that. Really back and forth game here. Pioneer really would love to get that next goal. They've had a couple really good opportunities, but Ives has been fantastic between the pipes. Both squads breaking the huddle. Again, little sun out on the field. You can see the shadow of the press box reaching over to the opposing stands. Pioneers going from left to right here in the second quarter. Ives heads down towards the right. Over to the left is Huffman as she makes her way down over to the crease. Looks like, is that Jimenez, I think, in to take the draw? Indeed it is. Hillard on the other side. As they both get set up to the left-hand side of the midfield stripe. 12 minutes up on the clock. We're getting ready to go here for this second. 2-0. DeWitt with the lead. Ball set between Jimenez and Hiller. They have back over. Jof gets it, trying to get it on midair. Trying to grab it on a hop. Ground ball. Raked up by Jimenez, but a whistle. That's going to go over to DeWitt. As they will come down the far side, Taylor Roberts has it between the hash marks. Taylor Roberts gets inside the 12-meter fan. Whistle there. She'll have to restart. And she'll restart about 7 yards inside of the offensive zone. And they'll move her up a little bit. Solden will be back behind her. Moved over to Hillard on the far wing. Hillard just inside the numbers on the far wing. Hillard fires it even with the goal over on that far side. Over to Young. Young back behind the goal. Young trying to make her way out in front. Young with a shot and a good save by Huffman. Able to knock that away. Closest to it along the back line was Trenton. That will stay DeWitt ball. Trenton underneath the goal line extended, fires it out in front, trying to knock it down. Ebby Lamb got a cross in front of it. Huffman has it in the crease. Huffman fires it down on the far side. Ground ball. That grab racing ahead with it is Edwards. Edwards right along the far sideline. Edwards picks it up right in front of the DeWitt bench. That ball, ground ball. Edwards trying to get to it. That is going to be. Edwards will get a restart. Excuse me. Is that Ebby Lamb? Ball back. Now Grabowski has it. Grabowski over to Jimenez. Jimenez coming down the far hash marks. Jimenez right over midfield. Jimenez trying to get her way between two defenders. Jimenez. Whistle there as she will restart. 5 yards over midfield. Flips that over and just over the tip of McGowan's cross. That will be DeWitt ball. As grabbing it is Trenton on the near wing. Trenton fires it ahead over midfield. That over to Lucy Roberts. Lucy Roberts running down the numbers into the offensive zone. Lucy Roberts just inside the numbers now. Spins away 10 yards above the goal line extended. Lucy Roberts back there. Good defense by Jof, making it tough for Lucy Roberts to find a place to go with it. Now she flips that over. Grabbing it is Hillard. Hillard gets it over to Taylor Roberts just inside the far hash marks. That move back over on the far side. Loose ball. That raked up by Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb fires it ahead. Solden gets it on a hop. Solden over midfield over to Edwards. Edwards racing down just inside the numbers. Edwards into the offensive zone. Edwards coming ahead with it inside the 12-meter fan. Edwards steps back, fires it underneath the goal line extended. Back grab by Malloy. Malloy about 5 yards underneath the goal line extended. Malloy trying to get it over to Grabowski. Grabowski trying to rake it up. Grabowski gets it as she's working her way around the 12-meter fan. Grabowski works her way between the hash marks. Grabowski comes in. Sidearm shot and a score. Grabowski puts it in at 8:53.
Scoreline number 5, Grace Grabowski. Time to goal, 8:58 of the second quarter. Goal by Grabowski, at 8-5-8.
Pioneer cuts the lead down to 1 for DeWitt. 8:58 left to go here in the first. Jimenez versus Hillard in for the draw. Jof on the left-hand side of the center circle. Joined over there by Taylor Roberts on the right-hand side. Trying to see who that is. They got the ball set. Again, they're both to the left of midfield. Ball set between the crosses for the draw. That pops up high in the air. Jimenez trying to get it. Ground ball. Jimenez gets it back over to Jof, but a whistle. That will be Pioneer ball. Tipped right away from Jimenez, but she will get a restart just on the Pioneer side of the 50. Now coming ahead, Grabowski moves it ahead to Solden. Solden between the hash marks into the offensive zone. Solden splits a pair of defenders. Solden gets inside the 8-meter arc. Solden underneath the goal line extended there. Solden stops right back behind the goal. Solden now sidesteps to the far side of the goal line extended over to Grabowski, but a whistle. As they're going to have Solden start on the dot on the far side, just behind the goal line extended. 8:13 left to go here before halftime, 2-1. DeWitt with the lead. Solden will get set up again, just right on the dot behind on the far wing. Solden starts trying to get it over to Maggie Lamb. Ground ball. Hillard gets it. Hillard coming ahead with it down outside the near hash marks. Hillard races ahead out of her own defensive zone. Hillard back over Frankie Rugberg trying to knock it away. Hillard over midfield. Hillard stops right along the near sideline. Hillard, Frankie Rugberg trying to get in the way there. Also trying to pull that back away is Edwards. Ball sent back over. Picked up by Randolph. Randolph moves it ahead. Now coming ahead with it back there is Taylor Brown. Taylor Brown inside the 8-meter arc. Taylor Brown shot. And that would be a score. Good effort by Huffman, but just slipped past. That at 7:25.
Goal scored by number 13, Taylor Roberts.
Taylor Roberts, sorry, forgive me. DeWitt gets back out to a 2-goal lead. 3-1.
Roberts at 7-5.
Again, that was Taylor Roberts on the goal. Now both folks set. Jimenez in to take the draw versus Hillard. They're on either side of the 50. Ball set between the crosses. There's the whistle popped up. Jimenez trying to get to it. That raked up, heading the other direction with it is Lucy Roberts. Lucy Roberts comes outside the numbers on the near wing into the offensive zone. Lucy Roberts slowly heads towards the goal line set and now trying to cut between the hash marks right at the 8-meter arc. Steps back outside the 12-meter fan. That moved over to Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts gets it into Hillard. Hillard with a shot. That goes in. Hillard, number 9, with her second goal of the game. That at the 7-minute mark.
7 minutes exactly in the second quarter.
DeWitt, 26 seconds between their first 2 goals, 25 seconds between their last 2 goals.
7 minutes.
That makes it 4-1 Pioneer. Face off right at center, as that's going to be Taylor Roberts to take the face off. Jimenez on the other side. Grabowski to the left-hand side of the center circle. Joined over there by Brown. On the right-hand side of the draw circle is Jof. Of the center circle, excuse me. Joined over there by Lucy Roberts. Ball set for the draw. Popped up high, back to the left, grabbed out of midair. Brown running ahead with it. Brown over into the offensive zone. Brown inside the 12-meter fan. Now comes over onto the near wing. Brown stops there, waits for everyone to catch up, flips that over. Ground ball. Hillard rakes it up just inside the offensive zone. Hillard between the hash marks. Hillard steps to her left. Now trying to avoid pressure by Jof. Hillard moves it over. That grab by Brown. Brown over on the near wing. And over to Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts sends it back behind. Working back there is That's Lindemann. Now ground ball raked up over on that far side. With it is Young. Young heads back behind the goal line. Extended. That slips just out the end line. That will be Pioneer ball. As McGowan will start that off and along the end line, McGowan trying to feed ahead to Grabowski. Ground ball. Grabowski races into the midfield area. Raked up by DeWitt. Coming the other direction with it is Keeler Lynch. And that ball over on the far wing. Hillard racing ahead with it. Hillard between the hash marks. There's going to be a whistle. Solden will have to go back behind Hiller. Hiller with the restart. She's a couple yards back behind the 12-meter fan. Gets inside the 12-meter fan, dishes it off inside. Brown with the shot that just missed to the near side. Closest to it is going to be DeWitt. So they'll run over to get that 32 back there, who I don't have on my roster for DeWitt. She'll start it off on the end line. That knocked away by McGowan, but a whistle, and DeWitt will restart back behind the goal line. At the dot behind the goal line on the near wing. DeWitt, even with the goal now, trying to fire it out in front. That grab, Taylor Roberts with it, ground ball. Taylor Roberts gets it back. Taylor Roberts moves it over to Brown. Brown working her way around the 12-meter fan. Brown steps back, couple feet outside the 12-meter fan. Now Brown trying to move it into Hillard. Hillard between the hash marks fires it. That off the post, trying to grab it. Ground ball as DeWitt had it. Good job by Huffman to knock that away. Whistle underneath, though, and we'll see exactly what that was all about. As they'll get everything set here and ready to go. Pioneer with the ball. Racing ahead right over midfield. Solden coming down just inside the number. Solden into the offensive zone. Solden racing ahead with it as she's just above the goal line, extended on the near wing. Solden trying to cut between the hash marks. Solden comes in the 8-meter arc. Solden as he puts a backhanded shot and puts it in. Lily Solden, number 10, cuts into the lead. And at 3:50.
Lily Solden.
Beautiful job.
3:50 of the second quarter.
As she ran past the goal and just brought the cross down and fired it kind of back behind her knee. Fired it in. Good deceptive shot, and that makes it a 4-2 game. Pioneer stops a 2-goal run by DeWitt. Jimenez in to take the draw. Grabowski on the left-hand side with Taylor Roberts. On the right-hand side is Jof. Hillard in to take the draw versus Jimenez. Ball set between the crosses. That put back as Taylor Brown grabs it. Or Taylor Roberts, picks it right out of midair. Taylor Roberts over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Taylor Roberts inside the 12-meter fan. Taylor Roberts steps back and a whistle. She'll have to restart. They'll put Edwards 5 yards behind her. Taylor Roberts starting just centered up on that 12-meter fan. Make sure everyone is set just where they want them to be. They move Hillard back a little bit. Here's the whistle. Taylor Roberts gets to the 8-meter arc. Taylor Roberts. And between the hash marks, gets back outside the 12-meter fan. Taylor Roberts trying to fire it. Crossing past that knocked down, but picked up by Hillard. Hillard has it on the near wing. Moves that over as Brown has it outside the hash marks. Brown spins with it. Brown between the hash marks coming. As Brown fires it and in, number 14, Brown.
Panthers goal scorer number 14, Ireland Brown.
At 2:45
of the second quarter.
DeWitt answers back and makes it 5-2. They get it back to a 3-goal lead.
By the Panthers from Brown at 2:45.
Jimenez set up to take the draw. Again, Grabowski to the left of the center circle. That's Solden to the right. Hillard in to take the draw versus Jimenez. Brown on the right-hand side. Lucy Roberts on the left-hand side of the center circle. Both Jimenez and Hillard to the left-hand side of midfield. As that ball gets set between the crosses. Steps back. There's the whistle. Ball straight up is bouncing on the turf. That raked up by Hillard. Hillard racing down over midfield. Hillard coming down the near sideline into the offensive zone. Hillard cuts inside the numbers now. Hillard gets between the hash marks. Hillard about 5 yards outside of the 12-meter fan. Now comes over on the far hash marks. Hillard looking for a place to go with it. Now Hillard looks over to the left, gets it over as Taylor Roberts has it just inside the 12-meter fan, but a whistle stops play. Grabowski goes 5 feet back behind Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts leaning over, ready for the whistle. There we go. Taylor Roberts races inside the 8-meter arc. Contact there. Ball on the ground, but a whistle, and may have a free position here. The officials talk things over. They want to make sure they get it right. 1:47 left to go here before halftime. 5-2. DeWitt has the lead. The officials now have things talked over. That's going to be Pioneers' ball, as Edwards is going to have it. Edwards rolls it back as Huffman will start things off in the crease. So DeWitt violation, gives the ball over to Pioneer. Missed the signal. There's the whistle. Huffman in her crease, looks over to her left as she launches that over. Grabbed, coming ahead with it down the far side. Moved over to Solden. Solden gets outside the defensive zone. Solden cuts between the hash marks. Solden launches it ahead. Jimenez trying to grab it off the cross. That raked up, coming down the near side. Coming ahead with it as racing is Lenneman. Lenneman over midfield. Lenneman spins with it. Lenneman in just outside the offensive zone. Lenneman in the midfield area, trying to make sure they don't go off sides. That flipped over to Hillard. Hillard coming down the hash marks on the far wing in the offensive zone. Hillard sidestepping. Now Hillard cuts between the hash marks right on the 8-meter arc as she goes to spin. Whistle. As Hillard will restart. They're going to put her center up on the 12-meter fan. Solden goes about 5 yards back behind her. Hillard sidesteps to her right. Now fires it over. Grabbed. Taylor Roberts with it. Taylor Roberts, ball loose, trying to rake it up. That tipped away. Grab coming ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer. As excellent job back there to get it by Porter. Coming ahead with it is Jimenez over midfield. Jimenez makes it into the offensive zone. Jimenez, ball loose. She rakes it right back up just inside the offensive zone. Double team there. Jimenez trying to move it back. Loose ball, trying to grab it. Ground ball popped up as there's a quintet of people there. It's going to be a whistle. See who is going to get this. Looks like it's going to be DeWitt. Racing the other direction ahead. Now grabbing it over the offensive zone. That raked up as Lucy Roberts has it coming in. That ball goes over to the far side. That will go out the end line. That will be Pioneer ball with 10 seconds left to go. 9 seconds left before halftime. Pioneer has it deep in their own defensive zone, racing ahead with the Grabowski, McGowan gets it over to Solden, and that will do it for the first half. At the end of the first half, it is DeWitt 5 and Pioneer 2. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will also have your sponsors coming up. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which could only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here at halftime, it's 5-2. DeWitt with the lead as Pioneer will look for a big comeback here in the second half. We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Women's Lacrosse. That includes platinum sponsors, Finn's Insurance Agency at 209 Fitness, Crazy Wisdom Publications, Man's Lumber and Home, Capital Sales Incorporated, Honigman LLP, Sparrow Market. Gold sponsors include Whitcomb Farms LLC, Stadium Veterinary Services, Ann Arbor Rug and Carpet Cleaning, Pierce, Sperling, Egan and Daniels PC, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Warren and Scherbaum PLLC. Silver sponsors include Orange Theory Fitness, Steve Service, Dexter Family Dentistry, the Athlete Brain Foundation, Holidays Restaurant, Felix Rudberg Real Estate One Agent, Mission Elite Fitness, Iridescent Students Cares LLC, Michigan Educational Credit Union, the Ann Arbor Implant and Periodontic Center. Bronze sponsors includes Hesselberg Chiropractic, Stadium Market, Arbor Teas, and Ann Arbor Smiles. We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors who help support the women's lacrosse teams. Please help support those who help support the teams. We appreciate that. As we are counting down, let's just play a little push on, and we'll be right back with your second half action. Both squads getting ready to go, getting last moment instructions from the coaching staff across the way. As now clock reset at 12 minutes as we head into the third quarter here at Hallway Field. Both squads wrapping things up. The officials grab the ball, get set as they head out for the draw. DeWitt breaks the huddle as they head out onto the field. Pioneer breaks the huddle and comes back out as well. Pioneer going from right to left here in the third. Suffman goes down to the right. On the other side, it is Ives heading down to the left. Jimenez and Hillard in to take the draw. So they both end up on the right-hand side of midfield. Grabowski and Solden. Around the center circle on the left-hand side is Taylor Roberts. On the right-hand side, I believe that's Brown. Ball set for the opening draw of this third quarter. They get it set between the backsides of the crosses. There's the whistle. Ball goes back and picked on midair by Hillard. Hillard racing down the hash marks on the far side. Hillard into the offensive zone. Hillard gets it over to Brown. Brown coming in. Brown with a shot and hits the crossbar and down as Brown makes it opening score at 11:51 here in the third as number 14 Brown makes it 6-2.
Goals for number 14, Ireland Brown.
That is her second goal in a row. She scored at 2:45.
1-1-5-1.
Solden to take the draw versus Hillard. So they get set right at the block ace. 6-2. DeWitt with the lead. 11:51 left to go here in the third. Ball set between the backside of both crosses. Official steps away. There's the whistle. Goes straight up as Solon trying to get to it. Raked up by Brown. Brown has it outside the far hash marks. Brown over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Brown moves that over to Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts just outside of the 12-meter fan. Taylor Roberts switches shoulders. Now steps back. Gets a little room to work. Taylor Roberts comes in, that ball loose, racing back to get it, raked up by Solden. Solden outside of her own defensive zone. Solden races down over midfield. Solden coming down the near hash marks. Solden into the offensive zone. Solden down on the numbers as she will fire that over on a hop over to Jimenez. Jimenez comes down the far hash marks. Jimenez underneath the goal line extended, going from the near side to the far side. That tipped, and that ball will go out the end line. Last touch by DeWitt as they were trying to steal that away. That is going to stay Pioneers' ball, I believe. The officials as a... There we go. As DeWitt takes a penalty, and Pioneer is a player up. As Jimenez, even with the goal on the near wing, Jimenez goes above the goal line extended, moves it over. That grab by Frankie Rudberg. Frankie Rudberg comes in. That ball tipped away, but a whistle blown. Frankie Rudberg will get set up for a free position on that first hash on the left-hand side of the 8-meter arc. There's a whistle. Frankie Rudberg comes in. Shot that just goes wide. Closest to it. Both Grabowski and Kennedy were there. That will stay Pioneer ball. Kennedy in along the end line. Kennedy looking to her left. Now Kennedy just underneath the goal line, extended on the near wing. Kennedy fires it over. That grab by Solden. Solden makes her way into the 8-meter arc. Solden trying to split a pair of defenders. That ball knocked away. Solden will have it at the center hash on that 8-meter arc. Hillard goes 5 yards behind her. There's the whistle. Solden comes in, fires, and a save by Ives. Ives moves it back over. That off the tip of the cross. That will go out as Randolph trying to hang on to it, and strong wind out there. And Malloy has it in along the end line. Malloy proving just how much tougher than she is than I out there with the tank top. That shot just goes wide all the way out the end line. Kennedy races over to find a ball. That will be Pioneer's ball as they'll have possession in along the end line. Kennedy moves it over to Grabowski. Grabowski just outside the hash marks. Grabowski over to Jimenez. Jimenez just outside of the 12-meter fan. Jimenez running down the numbers on the far side. Jimenez goes underneath the goal line extended. Jimenez from the far side to the near side, back behind the goal. Jimenez, couple feet underneath the goal line extended on the near side, gets over to Malloy. Malloy on that near wing. Malloy just over the goal line extended, fires it. That top of the 12-meter fan over to Grabowski. Grabowski looks to her left. Grabowski cuts, now spins, and that is going to be a whistle. Grabowski will get set up, centered on the 12-meter fan. Taylor Roberts 5 yards back behind her. Grabowski leaned over, waiting for the whistle. Grabowski looks to her left, now to her right, now steps back, gets a little room to work. Grabowski between the hash marks, feeds it over on the far wing, over to Edwards. Edwards on those far hash marks. Edwards races down towards the goal line extended. Edwards, whistle. Edwards will get set up just on the far hash marks, just outside of that 12-meter fan. Whistle. Edwards races in. Edwards, that ball into the crease. Ivy grabs it. Or Ives, excuse me. That is going to be a free position for Edwards as she goes to the right center hash. Leaning over for the free position. Coming in as that ball loose. Plucked up by Brown. Brown coming down the far wing. Brown steps back. Moves it over to Ives. Ives in her own crease. Ives coming between the hash marks. Now she launches it down on the far side. That's picked up. Coming ahead with it back there. Moving with it is Behovis. All the way down on that far wing. Knocked away. Here comes Pioneer. As that ball over to Malloy. Malloy into the offensive zone. Malloy coming between the hash marks. Malloy running ahead inside the 8-meter arc. Malloy comes over. Even with the goal on the near wing. Now Malloy fires it over on the far side. Grabowski with a shot and a score. Grabowski from Malloy.
Goals for number 5, Grace Grabowski.
And at the 6:26 mark.
On the goal, 6:26 in the third quarter. That's Grabowski from Malloy at 6:26 of the third quarter.
Jimenez heads in to take the draw. Nope, she's going to go to the far side of the circle. .626. Timeout called. We'll take it with them and play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As DeWitt heads back out onto the field, 6:26 left to go here in the third, 6-3. DeWitt with the lead. Pioneer with the last goal to cut it down to a 3-goal lead. As Jof in to take the draw, Hillard stays on the other side for DeWitt. Jimenez goes to the right-hand side with Brown. On the left-hand side is Grabaus. No, that's Solden over on the left-hand side with Taylor Roberts. Ball set. There's the whistle. High in the air, pop down. Jimenez trying to get to it. Jimenez rakes it over to the far side, racing ahead with it. Jimenez trying to get it as she ends up on the pitch. That'll go out, and Jimenez pops up. She's all right, trying to dive to get it. As the officials are going to talk this one over. As they're going to get it set, and they take the ball from Brown. They move it right to midfield. And looks like we're going to redo the draw. The ball does have to go straight up. I think it did that time. No one can come into the center circle before. So that ball now set between the crosses. There's the whistle. That pops back towards the right, racing over. Brown trying to rake it up. Brown has it. Brown forward to DeWitt. Comes down the numbers. Brown over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Brown tries to cut in between the hash marks now, and a whistle. Jove has to go back behind Brown. Brown will restart just on the 12-meter fan. On the hash marks, Brown steps back, gets a little room to work. Brown flips it over to Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts over on the near side. As that's flipped back over to Cromer. Cromer back behind the goal line extended. And ball launched out in front. Taylor Roberts with a shot that just goes over the crossbar. Running it out closest to it is Trenton. So Trenton will start it off. Back behind, fires it out in front. Ground ball, trying to rake it up is Solden. That grabbed. Here comes Pioneer trying to race ahead with it as that's E.B. Lamb. E.B. Lamb down the far sideline. E.B. Lamb trying to get past traffic. E.B. Lamb right on that far sideline. There's a whistle. As that's going to be DeWitt ball as they race in with it. Coming in as Brown has it just outside on that far wing. Brown Fires that over as that's grabbed by Lucy Roberts. Lucy Roberts slowly works her way around the 12-meter fan. Now steps back in along the numbers. 4:24 left to go here in the third. Lucy Brown now cuts to her right, trying to work her way around. There's a shot, and that deflected all the way back. Closest to it was DeWitt as they ran it out. They will maintain possession. 4:06 left to go here in the third. 6-3. DeWitt with the lead. They have possession in the Pioneer zone. As they have flipped, knocked down, trying to get it back behind Bonenberger. As there's a whistle, Bonenberger will restart. Bonenberger spins. Bonenberger fires that over, grabbed by Huffman. Huffman in her own crease. Huffman using the goal, trying to keep away from DeWitt as that will go over, trying to get it over to McGowan. Whistle there. Ball will go right back to Huffman. Huffman has it in the crease. Huffman looks to her left. Huffman, pressure coming, trying to move it over to McGowan. McGowan, ground ball, loose. That raked up is Lucy Roberts coming in. Lucy Roberts, good job to wall her off back there. As that was a fantastic job by Otieno. So they have things set for the free position right at the center hash on the 8-meter arc. Racing in with it, and that's a score by Lucy Roberts. That makes it 7-3. So number 3, Lucy Roberts.
Number 3, Lucy Roberts. Time to goal, 2:42. That's goal by Roberts at 2.
That makes it 7-3. 4-goal lead by DeWitt. As wind picks up here, you can kind of hear it on our field mic. A hearty bunch of players and a hearty bunch of fans out here watching the game on a fairly chilly spring evening. Joff again in to take the draw versus Hiller. There's the whistle popped up high and plucked out midair by Brown. Brown into the offensive zone. Brown races down. Brown fires it over. That ball loose. Trying to get to it is Bonenberger. Raked up by Huffman. Huffman has it in the crease. 2:28 left to go here in the third. Huffman looks to her right. Now Huffman outside of her crease. Huffman racing down the goal line extended. Huffman launches it all the way over. Trying to race over to get it is Joff. Ball loose. That raked up by Hillard. Hiller just comes inside the numbers. Hiller right on the 12-meter fan. Hiller working her way around the 12-meter fan now. Steps back, trying to work against Maggie Lamb. Hillard trying to get between the hash marks. Hiller comes in, and that is going to be a free position for Hiller. So that's going to be a halo violation. That on that first hash to the right, Hiller with the free position. Joff back behind her. Hiller races in, cuts to her left, sidearm shot, and Hiller, number 9, scores at 1:49. That is Hiller's third goal of the game, so she has a hat trick.
By Hillard at 1 minute and 49 seconds.
So Pioneers stopping a 2-goal run there by DeWitt, and then DeWitt puts together another 2-goal run right after that for a 5-goal lead, 8-3. Jofa and Hiller again in to take the draw, both to the right-hand side of midfield. Brown and Solden to the right. Taylor Roberts on the left-hand side with Jimenez. Popped up high, trying to get to it. The ball loose. Jimenez trying to grab that. That raked up by Hiller over midfield. Hiller coming down the numbers on the near wing. Hiller makes it over into the offensive zone. Hiller cuts to the left, makes it to the near hash marks. Hiller fires it over. That grabbed over by Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts just on the 12-meter fan. Taylor Roberts makes it to the 8-meter arc. Taylor Roberts steps back, trying to fire it over to Hiller. Hiller sidearm shot, And that's goal number 4 for Hiller.
DeWitt Panthers goal scored by number 9, Eliana Hillard.
That one at 1:21, just 28 seconds after her last goal. That makes it 9-3, 6-goal differential here in the third. Taylor Roberts heads over to the left-hand side of the center circle, joined there by Jimenez. Again, Jof with Hillard to take the draw. Solden over to the right-hand side with Brown. That popped up towards Brown. Brown grabs out midair, coming down on the far hash marks. Brown into the offensive zone. Brown coming down the numbers. Brown now looking over as she approaches the 12-meter fan. Brown looks to her left, fires it underneath the goal line, extended. And it's grabbed back there by 32, trying to come in. Launched right back over to, and it's over to Lucy Roberts. Lucy Roberts cutting between the hash marks. Lucy Roberts moves it over. That's a shot and a goal, as that was, I believe, Taylor Roberts who put that in.
DeWitt goal scored by number 13, Taylor Roberts.
That is her third, so that is a hat trick for her as well. And 15 seconds left in the third.
At 0-5-0 of the third quarter.
It's DeWitt scoring in bunches here. In a minute, they've scored 3 goals to get it to a 7-goal differential between these two teams. 10-3. Pioneer would love to break that goal run, get a goal run going of their own. Joe Finn to take the draw, pops up high, trying to get it, then tipped away, back racing over McGowan as that's grabbed. Taylor Roberts racing down the numbers with it. Taylor Roberts over midfield. Taylor Roberts comes down the hash marks. Taylor Roberts into the offensive zone. Taylor Roberts gets inside, flipping that over, knocked down. Good job by Bonenberger. Bonenberger racing back, trying to get to a battle for it on the end line. That goes out, and we'll see who touched it last. 22 seconds left. As back there, Figueroa to bring the ball in. 15 seconds left here in the third. Figueroa comes even with the goal. As Figueroa will start on the dot underneath. Fired out in front. Hillard with the shot. And Hillard scores right before the period ends.
Ladies and gentlemen, our score will count for DeWitt by number 8, Taylor Young.
Excuse me, that was Young. Forgive me. As we'll head into the fourth, it's 11-3.
Take us to the end of the third quarter.
Let's play a few messages of the MHSA, and we will be right back with the all-important fourth quarter.
About a minute and 14.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Thing is, it's only 3 degrees.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message
we
from the
can get a
Michigan
couple
High
of these
School
draws
Athletic
to go our way,
Association,
then
promoting the
that
value
we're good
and
once we get
values of
possession.
educational athletics.
We just got to get a couple of these opening draws here.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
12 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready to go here in the fourth quarter, as DeWitt has a 5-goal run going at the end of the third, as they've ballooned their lead out to a 8-goal lead, 11-3. Pioneer looking to get possession and try and climb back into this game, or at least make some good things happen. As they've played hard, DeWitt really good at, once they get possession, taking it down and scoring quickly. Hillard, who's been fantastic on the draw all evening long, set up right at the blockades. Jof in there on the other side. Pioneer going from left to right here in this fourth quarter. Both players to the left of midfield. That ball up as Jimenez knocks it down, racing over to get it. As Taylor Roberts with it. Taylor Roberts on that far sideline. Taylor Roberts runs into the offensive zone, coming down the far hash marks. Taylor Roberts stops right outside the 12-meter fan, moves it over on the far wing, over to Hillard. Hillard on the numbers. Hillard being watched by Jof over there. Hillard now trying to cut in between the hash marks. Hillard walled off there, steps outside the 12-meter fan, gotten over to Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts coming in, shot, and that's going to be a goal by Taylor Roberts. Number 13.
Panthers goals for number 13, Taylor Roberts. Time to go,
And at 11:26.
That's goal by.
That makes it 12-3. That is a 9-goal differential.
Of the fourth quarter.
As DeWitt came on, really first couple minutes, scored a couple goals. Pioneer got it to a kind of a back and forth game. DeWitt pulling away a little bit, but DeWitt really turned on the juice at the end, towards the end of that third, and they have kept the gas running so far here in the fourth. Ball set for the draw, popped up high. Jof trying to get to it, knocked down. Jimenez trying to get that, but Taylor Roberts again, fantastic at those ground balls, gets in the midfield area. Taylor Roberts walled off, moves it ahead. That grab by Brown. Brown over the offensive zone. Brown racing down the hash marks, moves it over on the far side. Is that out? The end line, that'll be Pioneer's ball. It's an errant pass just off the tip of the cross, goes out the end line. Pioneer will start their possession there. Bonenberger has it. Bonenberger into the near corner. Bonenberger spinning, trying to get away. Bonenberger fires it ahead. As that ball loose, Hillard trying to get to it. Hillard rolls it back, picks it up. Hillard 5 yards outside the 12-meter fan, in between the hash marks. Hillard moves it over to Brown. Brown set up just outside the 12-meter fan. Brown trying to make a move, trying to get around Jimenez. Brown moves it over. Again, that pass gets loose and out the end line. Pioneer will take over there. 10:25 left to go here in the fourth, as it's 12-3. DeWitt with the lead. Solden had it down the near sideline, out of bounds, and that will be brought ahead as Way has it for DeWitt. Moved over as that's on the far wing, trying to work her way in with that was Lenneman. Whistle. Lenneman will get it back on that far hash mark outside of, just on the edge of the 12-meter fan. There's the whistle. Lenneman coming down the far hash marks. Lenneman steps back as Otiano, good defensive pressure there Back over to Lucy Roberts. Lucy Roberts fires it directly back behind. That moved over, trying to come up ahead with it. There's a whistle, as that was Cromer with it, trying to get above the goal line extended. Looks like Cromer will bring it on they'll put her on the hanging hash on the near side of the 8-meter arc. Set there, Cromer. Here's the whistle, comes in. Cromer fires it. That knocked away. Huffman got a piece of it, rolls over onto the near wing. Raked up back there. Grab trying to come in with it as that's Trenton. Now go out the end line, and Pioneer will take possession. Jof will have it on the end line. Jof races down the numbers on the near wing. Jof coming ahead. Pressure coming as Jof fires it over to Jimenez. And a little too strong. Jimenez gets it now. Jimenez. Whistle. Jimenez will restart. Moves it over on the near wing. Over to McGowan. McGowan racing down the near sideline. Over midfield. McGowan bringing it ahead over the restraining line into the offensive zone. McGowan continuing to race down, but there's a whistle. At 8:12 left to go here in the fourth. Now McGowan racing ahead with it. Gets inside the numbers. McGowan over to Maggie Lamb. And picked up back behind by Kennedy, but raked up trying to get to it. Kennedy trying to pull that away, but with it, Charles, and along the far side. Under 7:50 left to go here in the fourth. DeWitt will have it on that far sideline, bringing it ahead. Charles with it. Charles cuts down the numbers, knocked down, ground ball. As Malloy trying to get to it. Malloy races over. There's a whistle. Malloy will start off. Again, she'll restart on that far sideline. 7:29 left to go. Malloy comes inside the numbers. Malloy cuts to her left, down towards the goal line, extended, now spins back, moves it over, grabbing it Solden as Solden races her way around the 12-meter fan. Solden on the near hash mark. Solden trying to make her way in. There's a whistle, as that's going to be a free position for Solden right at the 7-minute mark. As she'll come onto the right center hash for the free position. Solden comes in. Solden bounce shot. And knocked down by Ives over on the far side. Plucked up there. Coming down on the far wing is Klukowski. As the men's lacrosse team comes in to cheer on the women. Love to see that, is bringing it ahead. Here comes Jimenez. Jimenez cuts between the hash marks inside the 12-meter fan. Jimenez walled off, cuts to her right. Jimenez, whistle. That is going to be, looks like, a free position on the right center hash. 6:12 left to go. 12-3, DeWitt with the lead. Jimenez trying to cut that down. Jimenez coming in. Shot and a score. Jimenez scores.
Pioneer goal scored by number 11, Sophia Jimenez.
Huge roar from the Pioneer men's lacrosse team. Love to see when these different teams support each other. Pioneer men's lacrosse will be battling versus Skyline tomorrow here at Hallway Field. So hope for a big win versus their crosstown rivals, the Skyline Eagles, tomorrow. 6:03 left to go here. That makes it 12-4, so back to an 8-goal lead. Timeout called here at Hallway Field with 6:03 left to go. Again, as the sun is set under the bright lights here at Hallway Field. As they're doing a Pioneer chant down in the stands, trying to keep the team fired up, and love to see that enthusiasm. Like I said, it's always great to see the different teams support each other. So all these players play their guts out, play very hard, and it's wonderful to get as much support as they can. As we are waiting, Pioneer looks like they're about to come out of the timeout. There's the whistle.
Timeout on the field.
Pioneer huddles up. DeWitt comes out onto the field. 12-4, 8-goal lead by DeWitt. Pioneer going from left to right. Ives heads down to the crease to our right. She has played very fantastic. Huffman has done a very good job on the other side as Huffman runs down to the left. Draw. Right at the center circle. Now this time it's going to be Young in taking the draw as opposed to Hillard. Solden on the other side. They're both to the left of the midfield. They get ball set between the crosses. There's the whistle popped up, racing over. That grab by Solden. Solden runs ahead down the far hash mark. Solden gets into the offensive zone inside the 8-meter arc, moves it over, and that just off of the, just a little too tall for Whitcomb to get. Out the near sideline or out the end line. Yeah, it's going to be DeWitt's ball as DeWitt sets up in their own defensive end. Fired over to Ives. Ives in her crease. 5:35 left to go here in the fourth. Ives bringing it ahead. She's in no hurry. Ives now launches it over on the near wing, trying to move it over. That raked up, grabbed by E.B. Lamb. E.B. Lamb right at the restraining line, flips that over. Grabbed by Solden. Solden running down the far hash marks inside the 8-meter arc. That ball loose. Solden trying to get to it, but a whistle. 5:11 left to go here. That's going to be over to DeWitt. DeWitt will start off in their own defensive zone. As they race over down the far side with it is Brown. Down that far sideline over midfield, DeWitt racing over the restraining line. Down the numbers on the far wing. Now Brown heads between the hash marks. Maggie Lamb gets in front of her. Moved over to Hillard on the far wing. Hillard looks to her right, now to her left. Hillard steps back, fires that over as that's going to be over to Young. Young cuts down on the 8-meter arc coming in. Brown. E.B. Lamb trying to get in front. That's going to be a free position. As Brown goes to the center hash. They're going to put Young on the center hash for the free position. There's the whistle. Young coming in. Shot. And that's going to be a goal by number 8, Young.
DeWitt goals for number 8, Taylor Young.
That at 3:54.
That's goal by Young at 3:54.
Back to a 9-goal differential, 9-goal lead for DeWitt, 13-4. Young in to take the draw versus, I believe that's Jof. As that popped up over on the far side, trying to track it down, it's Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts launches it ahead on a hop as trying to get to it, ball loose. Trying to rake it up is Allie Rudberg, and a whistle. 3:37, that's going to be Pioneers' ball. As Allie Rudberg moves it over on the far wing. Coming down with it is Jof. Jof coming just inside the numbers. Into the offensive zone. Jof between the hash marks. Jof now over on the near wing. Whistle there. Free position for Jof, centered up just a few feet outside of the 12-meter fan. Jof quickly racing in. Jof shot and a score! Jof puts it in at 3:07.
Goal.
And Pioneer stops DeWitt from starting off another goal run. That at 3:07.
Joe, number 20. Time to goal, 3:07 of the fourth quarter.
Banks
That's
it back,
goal
an
by
8-goal
Joe
differential with
at
3:07 left to go.
3:07.
Jof to take the draw. Coming in Lucy Roberts to take the draw. Ball set for the draw. Pop back, and they're going to have to redraw that. It does have to go straight up above the heads for it to be a proper draw, so they'll get that and redraw that. 3:03 left to go here in the fourth. So they get set between the crosses. There's the whistle popped up down towards the right-hand side. Grabbed by Taylor Roberts. Taylor Roberts outside the hash marks. Taylor Roberts trying to get between a couple Pioneer players. Ground ball loose, trying to rake it up. Is trying to grab it back there was Kolb. Kolb right at her feet, and that grabbed and heading the other direction by Lucy Roberts. Lucy Roberts down on the near wing. She goes down. That raked up. Popped up high. Trying to get it is Allie Rudberg. That's raked up, headed the other direction with it, that is Figueroa. Figueroa into the offensive zone. She restarts. Figueroa inside the 12-meter fan. Figueroa knocked down. Jof with it. Jof coming down the numbers. Jof spins there. Jof ground ball trying to get it. Figueroa gets it back. 2:16 left to go. Figueroa on the numbers on the far wing. Figueroa goes underneath the goal line extended. Figueroa looks to her left, now to her right, flips that back over. Grabbing that back there is Benovis. That was Lucy Roberts puts it in at 2:02.
2:02 of the fourth quarter.
DeWitt goal by Lucy Roberts.
At 2:02.
That makes it 14-5. Back to a 9-goal lead by DeWitt. That's 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this game. Pioneer continues to battle hard. Lucy Roberts in to take the draw. Versus Jof. Set the ball between the crosses. Popped up high towards the far side, racing over to get it. That will go out the end line. Pioneers ball is bringing it ahead. Nyman with it. Nyman down on the far sideline. Nyman trying to get over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Nyman cuts it over. Maggie Lamb races back into midfield area to get it. Maggie Lamb. Battle for it, trying to come away with it. Charles had it, now back the other direction. Randolph coming down the far sideline. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go here in the fourth, 14-5. DeWitt with the ball and the lead as Randolph running all the way underneath the goal line extended. Randolph stops behind the goal line extended, flips that back over to 32. 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go. 32 underneath the goal line extended for DeWitt. Just above the goal line extended, trying to come in, loose ball, trying to race it up, now coming in. That's a good save by Huffman. Huffman does a great job, gets a big round of applause from the crowd. Or excuse me, that's Park, forgive me, Park. In goal, that moved over onto the far side, running down the far side. That is Bonenberger. Bonenberger outside of the defensive zone. Bonenberger racing down the far sideline over midfield. Bonenberger brings it ahead. That player trying to get to it is Frankie Rudberg. Rolls over as Kolb trying to rake it up. Now back behind Frankie Rudberg in along the end line. 26 seconds left to go. Coming away with it on the near wing is Thomas. Thomas gets over the goal line extended. Thomas out in front. There's a scrum for it. Trying to get to it is Nyman coming away with it. Here comes 10 seconds left. DeWitt racing the other direction with it. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will do it. 14-5, DeWitt wins versus Pioneer. Again, we will be back tomorrow with the Pioneer men's as they will battle. Didn't write that score down quick before they got rivet on the scoreboard. But it will be Pioneer versus Skyline tomorrow here from Hallway Field. I believe that's a 6 o'clock game, but I don't have it right in front of me. We will be back for that. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much for watching and your support of either of these two teams. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll be back tomorrow with the broadcast.